Welcome back. IGN Live from Gamescom, brought to you by Homefront: The Revolution. I'm Damon Hatfield. It's time to talk Quantum Break. Shawn Ashmore plays our hero in the game and the TV show. Sam Lake is creative director. Gentlemen, this is a different type of game / multimedia experience. How do you explain this? this Quantum Break.
Yeah, in a nutshell.
Yeah.
So we have two elements fused together for this entertainment experience. We have a cinematic story-driven action game, and we have a live-action show. And in the experience, they are interleaved. You play through an act of the game. You come to this special scene that's the culmination of each act, which is what we are calling a junction in time. You make a choice, so you are, by your choices, shaping your Quantum Break experience. And then we unlock an episode of the show for you to watch. And we have shot a lot of alternate content, so depending on your choice, you get your version of the show. And once you have watched the episode, you go back to the next act of the game. Action game, time-amplified gameplay. The theme, all in all, is time. It's a time travel story, and it's a superhero story. Jack's origin story as a superhero. Due to a time travel science experiment that goes wrong, he gains powers to manipulate time. And the threat is time at the same time is breaking down, leading towards kind of potential end of time. And he's fighting to stop that with his time powers.
That sounds bad. End of time sounds bad.
Yeah.
So you play through part of the game, you watch the show. Does this all happen in the same place? Is it all on the game disc?
Yes, I mean, it's, both the game and the show shipped together as one item.
So when did this all come together, Shawn? Like, when were you brought on board? When were you cast?
I was brought on board about a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So I've been a part of it for quite some time. And for me, the experience started just by knowing about Remedy, knowing about the kind of stories that Sam and Remedy likes to tell, and being excited about sort of, for me, entering into a new medium. I've never done motion capture before. I've never been a part of a game like this before. So for me, it was exciting. And we sat down from the very beginning and talked gameplay, which I got to see right away. There was like a model of what the gameplay was going to be, which I thought was incredibly exciting. And then also we started talking about bringing the performance, the story, and a real arc that is engaging for the gamer. So for me, it was exciting right from the very beginning, and I got to be a part of that from a very early stage. So it was really cool.
As I understand it, usually a lead voice actor in a game, they'll record VO and maybe do some facial capture.
Yeah.
But now you have to. It sounds like you have to do a
much
whole lot more, right?
Much more.
It's a whole kind of digital double.
Yeah, I mean, to say that it's a voice performance would not be doing, the amount of design and technology that we're using justice, because really, Aidan Gillen, who plays Paul Serene, who's sort of like the main villain, Dominic Monaghan, who plays my brother, we are on a stage together performing scenes. It's not as if we're in separate rooms or we're in different locations. We are truly acting together, which to me makes it grounded. And when I approached this, from a character perspective, I didn't think about it any differently than preparing for, X-Men or The Following or anything like that. This was about creating real, grounded, interesting characters and being there with the actors performing. So it's really, really engaging, I think.
So the game follows you, and then the show follows the villains. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's two sides of that one story in a way. So multiple points of view into it, and following the show, you get a glimpse of what's happening in the enemy camp inside Monarch Solutions, this corporation that's the main enemy. And obviously, phenomenal TV these days. The bar is really high, and it's a wonderful source of inspiration. And if you think about many of the best TV series today, quite a few of the characters there are bad guys.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So that was kind of inspiration for us for this.
So I've been a fan of Alan Wake and take me back. What's the first game that I'm missing?
Max Payne.
Max Payne, yeah, of course.
I got you.
Thank you. What threads or if any, will we see from those games here in Quantum Break?
This is, next step in the evolution of what Remedy game is. So I'm sure that fans of Max Payne and Alan Wake will see familiar elements, kind of once again drawing inspiration from pop culture, doing a cinematic action game with heavy story elements, kind of deep story and character-centric story. You know, all kinds of nods and winks. Humor is an element there, as always in a Remedy game. So you know, it is a Remedy game.
Shawn, what can you tell us about your character's abilities?
Well, Jack essentially is witness to this time travel experiment that goes awry, and so he gains some very incredible the ability to manipulate time. So there's a bunch of different abilities, and Sam could probably run you through all the details, but my favorite one is the time shield, which essentially is creating like a bubble around Jack. So in the midst of battle, he can create a shield around himself. And there's time rush, which is like, you know, flying through at hyper speed essentially to evade enemy fighting. My favorite thing though is Jack has the ability to, when a stutter hits, which is basically when time stops, everybody else in the world would not be aware of it. They would just be frozen. Jack can sort of traverse through these stutters, so everything around him is completely frozen, whether it's a beautiful moment where he can just sort of like take the time to look around, or if it's in the middle of a catastrophe and like things are smashing and breaking, and as the player you can sort of like traverse and explore these like incredible frozen moments in time.
And there is an element of danger to these broken time moments as well. And so there are two sides of using the time powers in the experience. There is the adventuring side, where you are trying to survive this broken time. And then again, of course, there is the action combat, using them against your enemies.
So about how long are the show segments? Are the show segments 10 minutes? Are they 30 minutes long?
So the episode length varies just a bit because of the alternate content, but more or less one episode is 22 minutes, which is kind of the network
Fairly
TV
typical, yeah.
without commercials. So yeah.
And I assume you've thought about what a Quantum Break Season 2 would look like if you...
Well, yeah, I
continue
mean,
this story.
our approach always when building something like this is just create a world and backstory, especially with time travel story. It's essential that you map out the history, with the time travel. and it's all there. There is plenty of threads that some are not really explored fully in the first game.
Sure.
So here's hoping that there is more down the line.
You big gamer, Shawn?
I am actually. I have to say that probably in the last 5 years I've been playing less just because I've been incredibly busy. But
Sure.
yeah, I mean, I grew up playing games. I still play games now. So it's exciting. This is my first time at Gamescom.
Yeah.
So it's overwhelming.
It's a big show,
it's
yeah.
exciting. And especially to be
Crazy.
here with something I'm so excited and proud about has been incredible. Really good time.
Favorite game of all time? Not to put you on the spot, just
My
'cause we're
favorite,
interested.
honestly, I mean, there's tons of games that I really like, but I'm gonna go back old school. The original Final Fantasy was one of my favorite gaming
the
experiences.
original one.
Yeah,
on the NES.
yeah, NES. I mean,
That's
old
good.
school. I sat on the couch with 4 of my friends. We each, picked
Yeah.
a character and
Yep.
we just played together. Like that's what I really like is, although you're playing this game, you can connect with people around you. So that's probably my favorite game of all time.
Cool. Gentlemen, Quantum Break looks awesome. It's April 5th. Is the release date next year?
Yes, next year.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
time traveling.
Yeah, we can't go back to
Yes,
April 5th
yes,
this year
yes.
and start playing, watching. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming by the show.
Thank
you.
Have a great Gamescom. Stay tuned, more to come from IGN Live here at Gamescom after this.